Hi, it's Jeffrey Klein. Welcome to another LinkedIn Sites where we get to have awesome conversations with even more awesome people. Today being no exception, we have Steve Buzogany, sorry about that, Buzogany, who is the founder and CEO of the Appreciation Advocate. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you for having me, Jeff. Excited to be here.
So we're going to jump right in. So who are you and what is it you do?
To keep it plain and simple, I'm former real estate agent turned CEO, and basically we have a new startup, a small business here. And then what we do is, to keep it, like I said, nice and simple, is we use gift giving to generate referrals for small businesses.
Awesome. So what is the problem that small businesses have that you're helping solve?
Sure. Good question. So basically, what we do is that main problem is that they don't have enough time to do these gifts. They want to love on their best people, but they don't have time to do it, or they don't have the creativity to come up with more ideas. So that's what we do.
I love it. Time is always a great thing to solve because there's never enough of
Yes.
it.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
I
so,
know.
you, so you mentioned small businesses being kind of your ideal target. Is there anything specific about where they are, geography or the type of business they are? Uh, Tell me who
Yeah.
really is your ideal, customer.
Yeah. Basically, anybody who's doing like service kind of businesses, like accountants, lawyers, real estate agents, financial advisors, insurance people, even anybody who has like a marketing agency. Even you could say like their biggest clients. You could do professional sports teams. I mean, anybody who's got like who serves another person. So in a large way, who has different values of clients, where not every
Mhm.
client is the same.
You have your VIP clients, and then your.
Yes, yeah,
But I
it's
treat all my clients like VIP, Steve. Don't you know that?
yes, of course. I would never think anything less of you, Jeff.
Um, so we're a LinkedIn business, outlet. So can you name either a business book or a podcast that you think's worth your time either reading or listening to?
Yeah, I go along the lines of there's a book. Oh my God, there's so many. Obviously, there's the Think and Grow Rich is a big one, but and then there's all the Dave Ramsey books in terms of personal finance that I could always recommend. But I guess for me, I would say even the book Giftology by John Ruhlin is a good book because it's kind of one of the reasons that it inspired me to do what I do. And John Ruhlin's a mentor of mine that I really appreciate, so I'd give his book
I
a
love it.
recommendation.
Awesome gift. I love the whole idea of gift giving and again showing appreciation is so important. What about a brand that you admire? Can you think of one that does a pretty good job of this, or that you're aware of that does a good job of this?
Yeah, so I'll be completely honest with you. There's a it's going to be a brand nobody knows about. So there's a brand called. So I actually own a an electric surfboard, believe it or not. And there's multiple
Electric.
different brands of electric surfboard, and the one brand that I like the most is called Lift, and they do a phenomenal job branding themselves as the best in the industry at what they do, and and they basically know how to put themselves as the forefront and like kind of like the trendsetter, and they know how to make their competition look like they're just a bunch of people copying what they do. And I think that's a phenomenal thing that they do as far as branding goes, and it's really awesome. How they elevate their own products without crapping on the other ones. So they don't say anything bad about their competitors, but they know how to elevate themselves to a point where they're almost untouchable, which is awesome. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I love the concept. I can't remember where I first heard it about how you be the best at something. So if you're in a, and this will be a real estate, which is if you want to build the biggest building, there are two ways to do it. One is to tear down all the other big buildings so that yours is the biggest, or to build your own big building. And I think that you just gave that distinction, which is you can, you shouldn't try and bring your competition down. You just try and elevate above.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important.
Yeah. I mean, you'll never be
Okay.
criticized by anybody who's doing better than you. Nobody's going to, I mean, nobody throws rocks
Right.
down. They'll pull you
Um,
up.
don't throw rocks at all. How about that? Let's just go there.
Yeah, right.
Um, can you name a LinkedIn connection you're glad you have, aside from myself, of course?
Yeah, of course. So I would say Brian and Gabrielle Boucher are probably my best LinkedIn connections that I'm most appreciative of. They've been great mentors to me, and kind of helps me find my path in life and reach the next level of my career. So I really appreciate those guys.
Awesome. I love to give shout outs to those who made an impact.
Yes.
And then you may, if you know me only a little bit, what's made a big impact in my life is the color purple. I'm a bit obsessed, as people know. What's your
Yes.
favorite color?
Navy blue, as you can see on my suit that I wear all the time.
There you go. So I create animated videos. If I was going to make an explainer video for the appreciation advocate, what would you want people to remember about your business?
I'd say that it saves you a ton of time and it allows you to stay top of mind. So you basically can keep your time and stay top of mind without a lot of work at all. And you get a bigger impact too.
Yeah, and so important to I think a lot of times, when we do, I work in content, and the question is, well, I've done this thing and nothing's happened. Well, you can't just do, it's not never a one and done. You need to continually reach out and show people, both appreciation and that you're there and all those things. So I think it fits a real big need.
Yeah, it has to be basically like it has to be like a river, not like drop in the bucket. So if you do a drop in the bucket, that's one thing. But if you keep the bucket, if you keep dropping and keep dropping, it becomes a river of content or a river of whatever you're doing, and that's where it becomes effective because rivers wash things away. Rivers have power. Rivers can do that stuff, but drops in the buckets don't do anything.
I'm going to steal that. I hope you don't mind, but I love that analogy.
Okay.
A river of content versus a drop in the bucket. Really
Sure.
Cool.
Steal away.
And then the last thing I want to ask you is, there's a pantheon of amazing animated characters. Can you name a favorite or favorites?
Okay, so there's like a lot of childhood memories coming here, and I can't decide between which one I like better. So like Dragon Ball Z was a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, that anime show, and then I was a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. So like I would probably go Shadow the Hedgehog is probably my favorite, just by a little bit. And there's like probably like Vegeta from the Dragon Ball Z series. So I can't decide between the two of them.
Well, they can have a party together in cartoon heaven, as it were.
Yes, Cartoon Network, right? Yeah,
they should. In fact, that's the great idea for shows, to combine those two for phenomenal success.
That would be pretty cool.
There you go.
I believe one inspired the other, to be completely honest.
I love that. Well, Steve, this has been a real pleasure. I appreciate your time. I think what you're doing is amazing. So if you're out there and looking to up-level your game, to make sure that people know on a consistent basis that you are appreciated, then Steve is your man. And Steve, I have nothing but appreciation for you. So thanks so much for sharing your time with us.
No, thanks for having me, Jeff. It's always great to talk to you.